Welcome back to Open Up Live. You are now joining us for our 2018 first show of the year, and we are so excited to welcome back Tina Miller and, of course, the incredible Don Clark. I'm giving you so much love over here. Don. You know that. All right, welcome back to our third segment, and we have some very special guests, Miss Arleana Waller and her sister, Dr. Diane Frink, and we are so excited to be talking about their father's legacy, which I had the pleasure of learning about earlier this week. So I want to send it over to the desk right now so we can dive right into what the Frink Family Foundation is all about.
Excellent. Thank you, Alicia. I'm Tina Miller.
And I'm Don Clark.
So we have this wonderful opportunity to have Arleana Waller back on Open Up Live.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, of course. And look, you brought your beautiful sister.
Yes.
Thank you. Dr. Diane Frink.
Yes.
And give us just a little background about yourself first.
Well, I am an entrepreneur, and I do multiple investments in different types of projects. Mm-hmm. And I'm partnered with the Cherokee Nation. I'm also sovereign myself. And we're involved with stem cell research, cryobank and birthing facility product, and involved with the foundation for various different fundies for our father and mother nonprofit organization. So we're looking to put that all together to help fund scholarships for children to be able to go to college, and also different types of scholarships for businesses, entrepreneur businesses.
Right here in Bakersfield.
Right here in Bakersfield.
Yes.
I wonder if we could, Doctor, if we could take just a moment and just share about the Cherokee Nation. I don't think a lot of people know what a remarkable tribe of people that was. They're higher church attendance than Americans when in their time. Just tell us about the remarkable Cherokee Nation.
The Cherokee Nation is the Native Americans that lived on this soil prior to anybody else coming here. And if you know anything about the Cherokee Nation, there's a story called A Trail of 1,000 Tears.
Yes.
And if you have an opportunity to read about that, that story talks about the Indians that were driven out of their land by the United States government, 1,000 miles from Kentucky, North Carolina, all those areas, etc., into Oklahoma by foot. So it's 1,000 miles from that area to Oklahoma. That's how it got its name. So the bloodline stems very deep, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. One of the largest nations that's been recognized under the Indian brand that has had more tribulations than not. So at this point, it has changed in many areas. You have the sovereign side, and then you have the federal side. The federal side is, they have a DOS roll number, which is issued by the United States government. The sovereign side is issued by the sovereign nation and recognized also through the United States government. So with that being said, on the federal side, you are still regulated by the federal government. On the sovereign side, you kind of make your own rules along the way. Of course, they have, all the heads of figures and things like that does make sure that things are done well, but you are not regulated by the federal government.
Doctor, tell us there were just some amazing accomplishments. The Cherokees were so culturally advanced, spiritually advanced, educationally advanced on their own. Tell us about that.
This is very true. I would say, I'll give you a very small scenario so we don't take up a lot of time. Okay. The Cherokee Nation that is involved on the federal side, they specialize in casinos. The sovereign side is well educated and well studied. They focus on patents and things like that. That side creates the insurance company for the casinos. So it's a little bit different in that area. So
they work together, would you say?
Yes, they do work together, and you have a lot of things where you get involved with hydroponic, aquaponics, to teach one to be self-sufficient is a major thing that we are involved with right now, and to also be able to educate from various levels and things like that.
One more question, if I may.
Yes. Did I lose you guys?
No, we're right with you.
Despite all of the really persecution and hardship that you were subjected to, your people, there's never been a hint of revenge or retaliation. In fact, I understand there have been prophecies that out of the spirituality of the American Indian that the rest of the nation would benefit and profit. Can you tell us anything about that?
He wants to hear more about the
That is
spiritual
very, that is
aspect.
very, very true. You know, I can speak to a lot of things, but the next time I come, I'll bring our chief with us.
Oh,
Excellent,
excellent.
And he can actually
excellent.
talk
Give
to
me
you
a
guys
handshake on that.
about
Yes.
everything.
I love it.
But spiritually guided is majorly for the Cherokee Nation, because you learn through the future that you don't fight with your physical hand.
Yes.
That you have to be guided spiritually, so you're on the mountaintop and you can look out and you can see things changing along the way. So at that point, you know which path is going to be good for you, which path is not going to be good for you, and how to look into the future and to be able to see benefits for all people. And you know, one of the things also, the Cherokee Nation, the sovereign site, also works with the United States government whenever there are things that need to be done, like bounty hunting outside the country. Sovereignly, you can actually go anywhere,
Right.
which is a little bit different. And they work together on many different sides. So as I said, the next time I come, I'll bring the chief, and he can
Yes.
answer any of your
I
questions
love
that you
it.
would want to know
I'm
about.
so glad you asked these questions. You know, so
Did any of that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
yes,
Don can have an hour or two conversation, right, Tina, about the spiritual aspect.
totally. Now, I'm to understand that that's your background, Cherokee.
Yes. Our father was born as a chief. His mother is full-blood Cherokee Indian, which is our grandmother.
Oh.
And then our grandfather is Afro-American and Jewish, and he was almost 7 feet tall.
My goodness.
My
So we've got
word.
some history there that stems a long ways. Our grandfather on our father's side was one of the biggest corn growers in that area, thousands of acres of corn, and he was also involved with fish boats, shrimp boats, those kinds of things.
And that-
And he
that-
also manufactured corn whiskey, which he did sell to the Kennedys at that point. You know the story back then, so we can edit that out.
No, we're live.
We're live.
Oh, we are. Oh, yes.
There's no edit.
So, you know, I was told I was born and raised in South Carolina, the Carolinas.
Oh, okay.
And all, you know, I don't know a whole lot about my family background, but I was told that my grandmother, my mother's mother, was Cherokee Indian, and so on and so on. I've never, you know, when there was a question about things, it was, we don't know anything, and so on. So, but I'm so glad that you all, your father, the one that we will be talking about here shortly,
Yes.
he was born a chief into the
Yes.
Cherokee Nation.
Yes, he was. And
Let's-
he also has his DOS roll number. So, and the DOS roll number was back when they were looking to count all the Indians. So they wasn't quite sure of the birth dates and the time, so they always gave them around about 10 to 15 years younger or older.
Oh.
And so at that point, as they, I would say like a census bureau, okay, like as they counted the Indians and, you know, they were able to locate the ones that wasn't hiding and trying to get away, they gave them a number to identify who you are.
Okay.
And so that number also gives you recognition into the nation whereby you could utilize for various different benefits. But it is up to you to pursue those things. There's many benefits that is allowed and has been allotted because of the history over the years.
Wow, how exciting. We're going to need to, well, unfortunately, to get going because time is out.
All right. Well, when we come back, we want to hear more about the Frink Family Foundation. We want to really dive into it and
Yes.
learn more about your dad and
Yes.
his legacy and what you have coming up for 2018. So stay with us.
Thank you.
So you folks really are royalty.